Hi, my name is Muhammad Faiz bin Muhammad Shakri. I'm from SK Bala Gomusang, Kelantan. And today I'll be talking about Project Kindness, building a learning heart and engaging Indigenous learners with simulations and hands-on learning. For the past 8 years, I've been working with amazing children. I was in Sempurna, Sabah for my first posting, and then I transferred to an Orang Asli school in Gomusang, Kelantan, which is SK Bala. Teaching Indigenous Orang Asli learners is not an easy journey. It was a whole new world for me when I came here. So we have these stereotypical views that the kids can't do anything. So we basically don't do anything to help these kids. We blame it on the culture, on the community, on the society, on the environment, which is something very wrong, something that has to change. My school is located deep in the jungle. It's a pedalaman tiga orang asli school, and we have to take about 4 to 6 hours from Gomusang off-road, depending on the roads, on the weather. And we have limited connectivity and accessibility, poor attendance rates, and high poverty rates. The children are amazing. They are Orang Asli Temia people, and they have English as a foreign language. And in 2018, we had 0% passing rate for English for both papers, and they seem uninterested in learning. And I'll also talk about the stereotypical views. Rather than seeing the challenges as problems, I try to understand my children. How can you expect them to learn from you if you don't learn from them? Because teachers realize that your children are your greatest teachers. You have to learn from them in order to discover a hidden resource. In my case, it is nature. It is something that is very important for Project Kindness. The aim of Project Kindness is to actually change the learning ecosystem. So this is basically the flow of the project. First, I built the hub through community collaborations in order to create a safe space for language learning. And then I use the hub as a learning resource where I implement a lot of strategies that involve simulations, hands-on, PBL, project-based learning, and etc. And in order to give them a meaningful schooling experiences, and then we aim for a successful educational outcomes for Orang Asli children. I had to deal with a lot of challenges when I tried to implement the project because of the location. We had logistic and transportation issues because I had to rent a pickup truck to actually bring stuff from outside. And money and funding, I actually started using my own money first. I spent thousands in order to build the hut. And of course, I need people who actually know stuff about building a building for the kids. Some of the teachers, they don't really agree with what I'm trying to do, but then after I bought all the stuff, and then they let's just build the hut first. So they actually helped me, and they were really amazing. I didn't do it alone. First, I tried to build connection with the teachers. I tried to inspire them, and then they were somehow really, happy to actually do it. And then, yeah, they built the hut. To involve the community, I also involve OA villages, Orang Asli villages, in order to build the hub. We need their knowledge and expertise. We need them as consultants, and so them they could be involved in the project to help their children. After time, more OA villages came to help because what I was trying to do is I was trying to do some community collaborations. I was trying to involve the OA community so that they could actually be involved in the learning ecosystem of the children. After sharing the story about how I used my own money to build the heart on Instagram or Facebook, I actually got a lot of help from friends, family, and communities, not only communities. I got some money and teaching aids, learning materials, craft materials, and books for my children, and they were really helpful in the project. Everyone can build a building for the kids, but building it is one thing, using it as a learning resource is another. The project is used in order to introduce the kids to the world of work. I use a lot of simulations. The Learning Hub is used as a learning resource for a lot of lessons. For example, one of them, this one goes way back to before I built the hut was completely built. It's called a Tiny Architects. We did a role play. The kids are the ones, the architects who actually assigned to design the park. So here, as you can see, they learn a lot of vocabularies and they were involved in building the project. And yeah, they seem to like it. Once the hut was completely built, we used it as a learning resource. And here, as you can see, is a lesson called Cook Off. It was actually a role-playing lesson. I taught them vocabularies and imperatives. Always goes for these two, the vocabulary and the language structure first. Introduce them to, first, and then we read a recipe. We compete in a real cooking competition, which is involve real hands-on learning, and also we wrote a recipe. These lessons actually provide them real life experiences, a meaningful schooling experiences for them to actually learn the language, to use the language. So as you can see here, they're really immersed in a world of work, like cooking stuff. My Little Baristas is another lesson, which is a similar lesson basically. Is this time we try to mix a drink. I taught them vocabulary first and also the language structure in order for them to actually use the language in real life. So basically focus on that too first, and then you go to doing reading activities, and then you go to real hands-on experiences, and then you go to writing lessons. So it's basically one whole package. After the pandemic hit us and with the school closure and everything, it was really difficult to get them to be interested in learning, to engage them once they came back. So one of the lessons was let's go shopping. It is a role-playing activity. We set up 3 stores in the hut, and then we learn vocabularies, and also I taught them how to sell and shop during a pandemic. So because they don't have the luxury of going out and experience whatever happens outside, so you just bring whatever knowledge you have outside to them. So I taught them how to use simple English phrases like how much is this? It costs five ringgit, something like that. These are the stores that they set up in the hut, a musical instrument store, and a bookstore. So these are the things that they don't get to experience here. So give them that experiences. We don't have a science room or a science lab at my school, so the hub also functions as a science room. For them, this is not a science lesson, it was actually an English lesson with the integration of science subject. So I tried to use science. So yeah, another world of work, scientists, introduce them to being a scientist. They do some role playing, learn vocabularies, learn imperatives. So basically the same thing with the cooking off lesson. So it's just using an experiment as a hands-on learning for them to, to get them interested. The HUD can be also used for project-based learning. Currently, we have 2 projects. Project 1 is a project raft using waste for the future. I asked them to collect plastic bottles around the village, and we make a raft. And then we use the raft to play in the river. So it was actually inspired by them. One day, I actually met few kids while we were swimming in the river. So the kids were bringing plastic bottles, and we were trying to actually to reduce waste around the village. So it's actually a problem solving project. So the second one is vegetable garden project, and now we are working on a hydroponic system. I taught them how to grow vegetables and sell them so that we could actually fund another or future projects that we are going to do at the hub. The hut is also a place for them to chill out. It's basically a space where a safe space policy, a place where they can actually rest, recharge after lessons. So yeah, I'm trying to create a positive learning environment for them for their educational outcomes. After the implementation of a project, we can see some improvement. In 2018, we had 0% passing rate for both papers. And then in 2019, within 1 year after the implementation, we have improved. We got 5 out of 40 candidates passed English writing and 15 out of 40 candidates for English comprehension. That was something huge for orang asli school. The project was also an intervention program to improve the attendance rate. As you can see from here, we can see after the implementation of the project, we actually improved the attendance in July. So yeah, when the kids love what they do at school, they would come to school. I hope the sharing of Project Kindness would actually inspire you in some ways. So and also give you some ideas on how you can help your children, your kids, not just orang asli students, but wherever you come from, just discover that hidden resource at your school and try to use it in order to help them. So thank you.